If you feel pressure from your family, watch this. So many people have families that are toxic to them. Being around these people does not elevate you to a higher vibration. It does not help to build your self-esteem, to build your self-worth, to help you feel more confident and sure of who you are, or even comfortable with your own identity. If that's you, or if you have anyone around you that brings you down, family, friends, coworkers, you need to know a few very important things to protect yourself and how to create healthy boundaries so that you can be on that high flying disc, so that your vibe can be very high, and that can position you to manifest more love, more abundance, and more positivity into your life, and not the negativity that these people bring in. Stick around. I'm going to go over all of it with you right here today.
GILD Coaching. More success, less stress.
When we have toxic families or even toxic friends, we receive pressure to have unhealthy habits in our lives. It can cause stress, anxiety, and severe health problems. So many of our health problems in our modern world are caused by stress. Stress hurts your immune system. And so what we have to do is build up our own immunity to these stressors. And that is done by having healthy boundaries. So I'm always telling you to take notes, or encouraging you to take notes. So if you're taking notes, that's fantastic. If not, open the comments right here on this video and let that be your notepad. I want you to write, I need healthy boundaries. I need healthy boundaries. Now you know what you need if you have a toxic family and you're feeling pressure. So how do you develop healthy boundaries? First of all, you need to be aware of what your stressors are. Follow the patterns. Keep a journal. You can even use a calendar for these sorts of things. If you track your mood versus different occurrences in your life, for example, every time a specific family member reaches out to you, a certain mood happens or your energy drops in a certain way. Track that. That is going to help inform you where you need boundaries to protect yourself. Super simple. It sounds a little tedious, and it may be at first, but the longer you go on, the less you'll have to write these things down, and the more in control you will be just on an emotional level. So what happens when something like that occurs? Well, I'd like to tell you a story. I overheard a friend of mine talking to another friend of mine one day. I was just passing by, and I was going to pop in and say hi to them anyway. And so I just kind of popped my head in and I said, hey ladies, what are y'all talking about? Because my one friend seemed very frustrated, unhappy. And that was out of character for her. She's one of those people who's usually very happy. She's always a smiling face, never a frown, positive, always has a happy, healthy, positive word to pass along to anyone she sees, whether she knows you or not, she'll give you a smile. Just a really, really sweet person. Well, it was a very different story on this day. Let's just call her Amy. That's not her name, but we'll just call her Amy. So Amy was very tense, and I could just tell she was extraordinarily tense, and her mannerisms were darker than they normally are. And she was talking to my friend Carrie. We'll just call her Carrie, using fake names here, but Amy and Carrie. So Amy was really venting toward Carrie. Now, here's something about venting. Venting, and write this down, especially if you're into law of attraction or manifestation. Venting is not my friend. Write that down. Put that in the comments. Venting is not my friend. And the reason is, when you're venting, you're bringing up all of the negative emotions connected to whatever you're talking about, and you're causing those to expand. And the energy that you're causing to expand is the energy that you're going to attract to you. So venting actually sends a sign to the universe that you want more of that thing. So don't do it. So I heard Amy venting to Carrie about something that hadn't even happened yet. The holidays were coming up. And she was already saying that her family was going to anger her because they had different political beliefs, because they have different thoughts and ideas about religion and lifestyle and things like that. And so I said, you know what? Why are you already bringing negative energy into the holiday that hasn't even happened. And she said, oh, well, I know what's going to happen. That's a powerful statement. She said, I know what's going to happen. These people are going to say this, and then I'm just going to have to disagree with them because I don't want them to think that I think that what they think. And I said, wait, hold on. You're going to have to give these people your opinion because you want them to know that you disagree with them only for the reason that you don't want them to think that you agree. Yes. And I said, so tell me this. If you didn't say anything, what would the result be? Well, then they would think that I agreed with them. And I said, well, it's none of your business what they think because they're their thoughts. So who cares? Does it impact you in the long run? Is it going to make you rich, poor, healthy, sick? What? What do their thoughts create for you in your reality? Well, no, I just can't let people. And so I was trying to get her to understand by participating in the conversation that she already knew she wasn't going to like if it happened. She was bringing more ugliness into her life. So I challenged her. I said, Amy, I challenge you that when these topics come up, you just say inside your head, not out loud, to yourself, interesting. And you don't respond. Because honestly, your response, she had already told me, her response would then start a big fight and it would ruin the holiday. So I'll let you know the same thing I let her know. Even though she kept saying, they start it. I said, Amy, truth bomb. They don't start it. They begin the conversation. But the second person to speak starts the argument. If you say something that I totally do not agree with, and inside my head I say, interesting. I'm making an observation internally that I find what you just said interesting, and I don't respond to it. There's no argument. If you assume that I agree with you, that's on you. It's really none of my business, because those aren't my thoughts. Even though they're about me, they don't belong to me, because they're not mine. Do you see where I'm going with this? This is a healthy boundary. Now, Amy continually argued with me through this conversation. So I'm not sure if she actually tried to follow through with this or not. But it would have been the way for her to allow what did not serve her to pass and then enjoy only that which would elevate her to a higher mindset or increase her happiness or increase her fulfillment level or allow her to deepen relationships. Because it doesn't matter what we disagree on. We can have a deep and meaningful relationship if I allow what doesn't serve me to pass and you do the same. So make that commitment to yourself. I will allow what doesn't serve me to pass. Now, there's a couple of easy other tricks. Family members who call, text, cross the line, and you feel like they're compelling you to be at their beck and call or live to serve them before you live to serve yourself. 2 words. Stop it. I'm going to tell you what my own mother told me years ago. I lost my mother about a decade ago, but years before that, I was frustrated that she didn't ever answer her cell phone. And when I say ever, I mean ever answer her cell phone. And she corrected me when I said, why do you even have this thing? You never answer it. I can't ever get you. And she said, oh, this is a great boundary lesson for the boundary teacher, right? My mother said, oh, well, you're under the mistaken belief that I have my cell phone as a convenience for you. I don't. I have my cell phone as a convenience for me. So I can answer it or not answer it as I see fit. That goes for texts, that goes for social networking posts, that goes for phone calls, it goes for everything. Boundaries are there because they're real. A boundary, and write this down, a boundary is where one person ends and another begins. So if I call you, the boundary is you have the freedom to or not to answer. Text, same thing. you have to develop healthy boundaries. Now, I want you to check out the video description here because we've got a whole lot of goodies and freebies and giveaways for you, but there's also a link down there to our Freedom by Design program. And I want you to look at that because it's all about healthy boundaries and time management. And a lot of people say, I don't need time management. Yes, you do. We all need time management, and most of us are doing time management the wrong way. So if you ever struggle with putting yourself first, if you ever struggle with self-care, if you ever feel like you don't have enough time to get things done, or if you ever feel like people are crossing the line with you and that you have to act in a certain way because of their actions, then you need Freedom by Design. So I want you to check that out. Just look at the link and then ask me any questions that you have. Also, before you go today, please give me a thumbs up if this has been of use to you, and subscribe and hit that bell so you know the next time that we drop a video to help you live a life with more success, happiness, and fulfillment, and lower stress. See you next time.